Have you ever pulled up to a gated estate or studio lot and realized this is not your average notarization? Maybe it's a celebrity, a politician, or someone with three assistants and a security team. Hi, I'm Jennifer Cooper with JKC Mobile Notary. And high profile client notarizations can be intimidating at first, but they don't have to be. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to prepare, how to carry yourself, and how to leave a lasting impression that says, I can be trusted. Whether it's your first time or your 15th, this video will give you practical steps to show up calm, confident, and completely professional. So let's start with the basics. What do we even mean by high profile? Well, we're talking about anyone with public recognition, wealth, status, or influence. That might be a celebrity, a CEO, a judge, a professional athlete, or even a well-known local business owner. The key thing to remember is this: they value discretion. They expect professionalism, and they're likely surrounded by staff or handlers who are watching how you interact. The best way to serve these clients? Well, don't treat them like celebrities. Treat them like any other client, respectfully, confidentially, and professionally. Next up, we're going to talk about preparation. If the appointment is scheduled by an assistant, a state manager, or even legal counsel, be clear and concise. Confirm the address. Ask what type of document you'll be notarizing, whether witnesses will be present or needed, and how the signer plans to identify themselves. Here's a quick tip. Always ask what form of ID they'll be using. You don't want to arrive and find out their ID is expired or not acceptable under your state laws. Now, let's talk about what to wear. For women, go with something simple, polished, a neutral blouse and slacks, or a modest midi dress with clean closed-toe shoes, nothing flashy. For men, a collared shirt or polo with slacks or dark, clean jeans, professional shoes, and a blazer if the setting calls for it. Whether you're walking into a mansion or a luxury high-rise, you want to look trustworthy and low-key. So think someone you'd want handling your legal documents. When you arrive at the property, don't jump out of the car too early. I really recommend walking up to the door about 3 to 5 minutes before your scheduled time. That shows punctuality without being too eager or intrusive, especially if you're entering a secure or staff-managed location. Keep your tone steady, your smile polite, and your conversation minimal. Let the client or their assistant set the tone. Here's a really quick story. I once notarized for a retired pro athlete. Super friendly guy, but he clearly wasn't looking to talk. He signed, I thanked him, and I left. A week later, his wife called me back for another notarization. Why? Because I kept it simple, professional, and respectful. That's what these clients are really looking for. Well, once you're inside, stay focused. You might be surrounded by assistants, security, or even curious family members. Keep your attention on the signer. Verify the ID, ensure they understand the document, and ask if they're signing willingly. If you're notarizing something like a power of attorney or estate docs and other people are in the room, politely ask to speak to the signer alone for just a moment. It's for their protection, and they'll usually appreciate it. You can say, would you mind if we stepped aside for just a minute? I need to ask a couple of questions privately before we proceed. Move efficiently through the process, but don't rush. Accuracy always comes before speed. Keep your journal covered, documents secure, and be mindful not to over-explain unless asked. Once everything is signed and sealed, thank them, pack up calmly, and leave without lingering. This is not the time to ask for a selfie, mention who they are, or share anything about the appointment. Later, if the appointment was booked through an assistant or a third party, you can send a brief follow-up text or email confirming that the notarization was completed. Keep it short and professional and respectful of their time. But on social media, say nothing. No vague captions, no name dropping. The biggest compliment of a high-profile client can give you is another appointment. And trust me, they talk. High profile client or not, every person who sits in front of you deserves the same level of professionalism, compassion, and care. Don't put someone on a pedestal because they're wealthy or well known. That's not professional, and it's really not respectful. When you treat every client with dignity, discretion, and calm confidence, your business will grow and your reputation will speak for itself. If you want to learn how to attract clients like these or just build a brand that feels solid and professional, check out my coaching program or grab my ChatGPT course for mobile service businesses. All the links are down below in the description. And if I can't help you, I've got an amazing network of top level notaries who can. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.